Hello everyone, this is Jeff Cowan coming to you from Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk with my weekly podcast entitled Write Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, The Path to Making $100,000 a Year When Writing Service in the Automotive Industry. Because as we're recording this, I say it every week, 20% of you out there writing service today in the United States of America and or Canada are making six figures. Now, 80% of you are not. So the 80% that are not, how do you get to write how do you get to $100,000 a year? Keep coming back here. I will give you techniques. I will give you word tracks. I will give you processes, ideas, and thoughts that if you put into practice, that's the key right there. You just can't listen to it. You have to actually do what I recommend. You too can make $100,000 a year on a service drive. Now, for those of you out there that are already making $100,000 a year, you keep listening too, because I'm going to show you how to make even more. Because that's what I do. Because the way I look at it, if you're going to be there all day long, why not maximize the opportunity? I mean, that's what I would do. Now, as we've been discussing the last few weeks, one of the biggest reasons I see that keeps people from making that type of money or maximizing the opportunity is because they start to believe in all these myths that surround writing service. Sometimes, like I've said, these myths come from the manufacturers who make automobiles. Sometimes they come from vendors. Sometimes they come from business owners and managers. But a lot of the times, they're made up in the heads of service advisors because it gives you an excuse not to perform and hit on all cylinders. It gives you an excuse not to do something. Well, I'm going to take these myths like I've done the last 2 weeks and like I'm going to do this week and then finally next week, and I'm going to get rid of them and prove to you that these myths are just that. They're myths, because I'm going to back them up with facts. And like I said the last few weeks, if I go over any of these myths and you say, I think Jeff is dead wrong, well, call me. We'll talk about it. Call me at 1-800-248-2931. I'd be more than happy to show you all the facts that I have above and beyond what I'm going to discuss today. So let's get into, because we've already done the first 10 myths. Remember, I told you there's 20 that typically keep people from being the best. And now we're ready for number 11, and here's what it is. Women service writers have a tougher time in service because men prefer to talk with men. Look, I don't even know how you could think that in today's world. I don't even know how you'd have the guts to say that out loud in today's world. But let me just put it to you as clear as I can. Writing service is not gender specific. Writing service is not race specific. Writing service has nothing to do with any of that. Now, here's what works. A service advisor who is strong in taking control of the customer and exudes confidence can and will be able to handle your customers. Now, while this myth used to have some validity 50 years ago, it carries absolutely no weight today. Like I said last week, I think it was, if I was to list out of the many thousands of advisors that I've worked with, the top advisors I've ever had the opportunity to work with, the top 7, the first 7 of the top 10 would be women. Now, I stopped short of saying this a week ago, but I'm not afraid to say it now. If I'm interviewing 2 candidates and everything's equal, one's male, one's female, and everything's equal, and I got to decide which one to go with, I'm probably going to go with the women. Women are great service advisors. If you don't have them on your service drive, you could be costing yourself money. And if you're wondering, by the way, what makes women seem to be better service advisors is because they seem to be more detail-oriented and they seem to be better listeners. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a guy that you have less of an opportunity of being successful because, you know, I've met hundreds and thousands of service advisors that are male that do just fine. I'm just making a comment here. And, you know, sticking with the women thing for just a second, since over 60% of the people that visit a service drive are women, you can make a case for having women on the service drive might even calm women down because women customers, I've worked with again, thousands of them, and one of the biggest complaints they have when working with a male service advisor is that men seem to be condescending toward them and what they may or may not know on the service drive. So myth, doesn't make you, you know, it's gone. I mean, come on. Myth 12, it does not take as much skill to be a quick service writer or an express lube writer, especially when you're working at a car dealership. Well, I think you're wrong. I mean, arguably it takes more. I mean, think about it, especially if you're working in well, really any service department. I mean, if you have a department where you've got, you know, like the full writer versus an express writer being somebody that only writes up oil changes and the like, think about this. What's the first service a customer needs when they invest in a new vehicle? An oil change, maybe a tire rotation, right? So who do you send them to? You send them to the express rider. So that express rider, arguably speaking, has to be better than a full rider. They have to be able to do everything. They have to be able to do everything that the full shop rider can do as good or better, because this is going to be the first impression many customers see the first time is that person in your business. So I think it takes more skill, and arguably you could say it even takes more training, because again, it's the first person that somebody's going to see when they come in with their vehicle, because the first service is typically an oil change. So they need to be able to do everything that full shop rider does as good or better. Okay, so that myth's gone. Myth 13, it's impossible to train veteran service riders to adapt to changes in their customers' demands and new technology. Now, look, not if you've established a culture from word go, a culture in your shop that dictates that we're going to do things this way, but from time to time we're going to change because we know technology is going to change. We know the vehicles are going to change. The customer and what they're looking for is going to change. So if you've created that culture in your shop that occasionally we will change things, that's not a problem. But if you've let your riders sit out there for 5, 10, 15 years and do the same thing they've always done for 15 years, then you're probably going to have a problem. And let me just share something with you. If you're riding service today the way you were 5 years ago, if you're riding service today the way you were 2 years ago, there's no way you're maximizing the opportunity, simply because technology, the vehicles, and the customers themselves and how they buy has changed. I mean, so again, that solves that. And as a matter of fact, here's what I like to say. In the future, there's going to be two types of salespeople, right? Those who sell technology and those who use it. Everybody else will become obsolete. So that's the first three myths we're going to handle today. I've got two more, number 14 and 15, but before I get into those, I got to talk to you about these books. Write Service and Write Your Own Paycheck, The Path to Making $100,000. If you're not making $100,000, don't wait for my next podcast. Buy this book. It's right there. Come on, advisors. Pull out that wallet. Pull out that credit card and give me a call. Come on, business owners. Come on, service managers. Pull out that wallet. Write me a check. Get your people reading this book. As a matter of fact, what you should have them doing is watching the companion video, the 10-hour video program I put to go along with it. Got a new writer? You're a new writer yourself? Call me up. We'll hook you up. Where do you call? 1-800-248-2931. Again, 1-800-248-2931, or simply go to automotiveservicetraining.com. automotiveservicetraining.com. You can get those products there. I mean, come on, let's get serious about this. You want to learn how to get perfect survey scores? Want to learn how to get your retention over 85%? Want to learn how to maximize your sales without twisting arms, pushing people, and selling stuff that ain't be sold? Right there in that book. You can get it from me, or you can get it from Amazon.com. You can also get this book right here, What I've Learned from Attending Over 35 Indy 500s. It's got lessons in sales, motivation, leadership, management, and life in general. This is becoming a national bestseller right in front of our eyes. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is selling it, Amazon sells it, and we sell it on our websites as well. Come on, get on board. Let's get this stuff done. Also, if you're really serious about this, come and see me live in one of the workshops I'll be doing here shortly. I'm going to be in Toronto. I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm going to be in Indianapolis. I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. Get yourself signed up for one of my 2-day workshops. I will show you in that workshop how to get perfect. Yes, I use the word perfect survey scores. I'm going to show you how to eliminate heat. I'm going to show you the easiest way to write service, how to get your customer retention above 85% within just a few months. And I'm going to show you how to maximize the sales opportunity you have. Now, business owners out there, and I'm talking to people that own car dealerships, you want to sell more cars, want to sell more vehicles, sell more service. If your hours per repair order are at least 2.5 hours per repair order in the customer paid side, including oil changes, your people are letting you down. Individuals, you service writers out there, if you're not at least at 2.5 hours per repair order, you're doing something wrong. Sign up for one of my workshops. They're going to be fun. Now back to this. We talked about we had 3 myths we talked about today. First one first one we talked about here today is that women service writers have a tougher time. Baloney. We talked about myth 12. It doesn't take as much skill to be a quick service writer. Baloney. It takes more skill. Myth 13 we talked about. It's impossible to train veteran service writers. Baloney. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest success stories I have is there's a young man that worked up in the Washington, D.C. area, had written service at a Land Rover store for nearly 20 years. His managers put him in one of my classes, one of my workshops, because he said, you know, we can't get this guy to do anything we're asking him to do. This is his last thing. If you can't get him turned around, he didn't come back and try something new, then we're gonna have to get him out of here. He's holding the rest of the shop up. He came to the class. He got excited. He heard what I had to say, heard what other people in the class had to say. He went back. He'd never written a repair order and never had a month where he averaged more than 2.3 hours per repair order on a Land Rover store. He went back and he's not been below 4 hours since. I can document. I'll put you in touch with him. Give me a call. But here we go with number 14. Service writers can handle, now I'm going to have to read this one, okay, so bear with me here. Myth 14. Service writers can handle setting their own check-in time, checking in their customer's vehicle, following up on those customers throughout the day, closing the customer over the telephone, closing out their own repair orders, contact customers who've been waiting for parts, cashier their own customers, actively deliver vehicles back to each customer as the vehicle repairs are completed, send a handwritten thank you note to each customer, contact customers who missed their check-in time, contact customers who previously declined repairs, contact customers that have not been in over 6 months with the same time getting and maintaining high survey scores and customer retention. Woohoo! Man, that's a long one. Okay, but in fact, only if they write 10 to 15 repair orders a day. Just like I said in that last week, if you want those numbers, business owners, you want high survey scores, you want high retention, you want high sales, you have to give your people time to work with your customers. If you want them to do all those things, then you need to cut them back to 10 repair orders a day, 15 a day. It's real simple. You got to ask yourself this. What is the primary job a service advisor does? They sell. What's the only way a service advisor makes you money? When they're talking to customers. The more you can take off their plate, the more you can put them in front of people, the more money they're going to make you. It's just that simple. Don't overload them. Myth 15. Service writers will not sell or are not good at selling additional products like special wills, extended warranties, details, and the like. Baloney. It's not true. If you train them, they can sell anything, because to sell anything on a service drive requires 3 things. It's this simple: a great product, great training on how to present it and ask for the money, and a great pay plan. Put those things together, they'll sell until the cows come home. Come on, that's a myth. Load your service drive up with products that customers want to buy. I mean, you're in retail here. Don't put 1,000 products out there, but put the ones you know are going to sell. It's easy to determine which ones they are. So that's my message this week. There's 5 more myths that I just proved to you are just that, myths. Don't buy into them. Don't hold yourself back. I've got the facts to back them up. If you want more information on them, call me at 1-800-248-2931, and I'll show you all the facts you need to see and talk to you as long as you want about any of these myths, because they're just that. They're myths, and they're holding you back. All right. Hey, my name is Jeff Cowan. I appreciate you listening this week. Between now and next week, I want you to do a few things. Number 1, I want you to call me and buy these books and sign up for the workshop. Number 2, and most importantly, I want you, advisors, to go out and find as many customers as you can, get them excited about your product, get them to say yes to your product, so you get the commission, you get the survey score, you get the customer retention, and you can live the life you so deserve and have the lifestyle you never dreamed of. Because if you're not making $100,000 a year at least on a service drive, you are doing something wrong. Come back and keep listening to me, because between now and next week, I'm going to go find as many customers as I can, show my products, get them excited about it, and I will close them, because I'm a closer, and I'm going to collect that commission and live the life that I so deserve, because I work hard and I deserve it. Between now and then, make it a great week, okay? Call me and get signed up for these workshops. Call me, get these books. You're going to love them. Promise.